Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's up, folks? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. A little cloudy, a little hazy. It's still pretty warm out there, lots of rain, and a little bit choppy, as you can tell, in my neighborhood. I hope your neighborhood is nice as well, and you're having a great day. We're in the dog days of summer now, I think, and haven't heard from me in a little while. I admit I've been pretty, just so busy at the store and so many other things, and I haven't been making a lot of videos. But I did want to talk about the what we're looking at today, which a recent development is that $35 plus mark, where we're looking. Silver's over $35 right now, and I'm going to discuss something that many of you who've listened to me for years already know where it's at, where it's probably headed, and what's it going to do meanwhile. But for those that don't, and for those that don't remember, stay tuned with me, and I'm going to get into this here in a second. Let me squeeze out of this page right here and move over to the current spot prices. I'm going to do a quick refresh there as well, folks. Let's take a look. And there's our refresh, courtesy of CCE. They give some really good spot prices. I like it because they show the highs, the lows, and the changes here. All right, we're currently looking at $35.77. Silver, yes, it did touch that $36 level, and probably in the futures, it's market, which is a different market than the spot markets, as most of you know, is in the did touch the $36 plus level. Silver and gold, 3,400, which we kind of expected gold to go back up to that $34, $35 range. And platinum, wow, the red-headed stepchild of the precious metals, at 1146, currently at 1138, and performing really, really well. It's about time, but I've been saying it for years. Platinum's just been a dead, nobody, nothing metal for years. People have ignored it. It just kind of meandered in that $800-900 range of recent 900. But I think it was in the high sevens at some point. Just nobody was interested, nobody buying it. The retail sales of platinum just dismal, always has been, and it was even worse for a while. However, platinum is starting to shine, so to speak, and looking pretty good. For you folks that bought in, when I did actually, was a sub $1,000 mark, I was thinking, hey, when's the best time to buy a metal that nobody wants, that's very important in the world? Because platinum is a very important metal, industrial-wise more than investment-wise, if you look into it. And it was just dirt cheap. And buying it at dirt cheap levels, I didn't see much downside, and now we're starting to see that upside, hopefully. Silver, just crazy numbers here, okay? $1.24. We've seen some big mega bull moves here in silver today and yesterday, this week more or less. But for you folks that follow me, you know that I believe that this stuff trades in $5 increments, $5 levels. As I've said in the past, $5 to $10, back and forth, yo-yo, 10 to 15, yo-yo, for whether it's a couple months or a couple years or whatever. Well, we've had our up markets with the 1980 market and the 2012 market, both of which I, was working in. I was a young man in the 80s, but I'm familiar with those markets. But for the most part, this stuff trades in the $5 ranges, and I believe we're in that next range, that $35 to $40 range, unless, and I'm going to get into that. Folks, I haven't been on this current format that you're watching me on, which would be the YT, and I haven't been putting a lot of stuff out there. I must admit, I have spent a lot of time out on X. And you know what I like? One of the things I loved about YouTube is when I had the smaller videos, or smaller view count videos, all the commenters out there, I love the comments. I love responding to comments. And occasionally some of the videos got so big that I just couldn't respond to everyone's comments as well. But I do miss that format, and you don't really get that format. Well, you do on YouTube, but it's kind of a little harder when it's harder to directly talk to people. One of the reasons I really like this format right here is because I can directly, I can interact with any one of you out there that asks me questions and want to know things. I've made a lot of cool friends. I've learned a lot of cool stuff out here. And again, this is me right here if you want to kind of find me out there. And I think the platform is truly what they call a free speech platform, and providing you harm no others. But I really found it, and yeah, I do post my videos up here. I think YT is a better video format still, but at some point I'd like to see X get their video platform up even nicer. But I'm posting a lot of stuff out here, and I'm just enjoying the platform more. But I'm going to kind of talk about a few things I've been recently talking about, and here's something I put up here for vote. There's me right there. Is it goodbye to sub $30 silver forever yet? And you notice I put there yet, and a lot of the people right here voted like 86%, and I kind of think that we probably have seen sub $30 silver. Never say never. Remember these big commercial banksters and their deep pockets and their ability to screw around with these markets always made a difference. But I don't think we're going to see sub $30 silver. Sub $35, yeah, we might be in that 35 to 40 range. And here's a comment I made that I want to share with use folks as well. And actually here, it's kind of pretty easy here. Let me kind of show you what I've been talking about, and you can follow my little channel here. And I can't stay out of politics a lot, so let me just kind of go down here. And where did I put that? Happy birthday, Ron Paul, by the way. And where is it? Doggone it, I was just talking about that this morning. Give me 1 second here. All right, it's back up here. So many cool subjects out here, by the way. One of the reasons I really, again, like this format better than Facebook. Remember, I got kicked off Facebook, a permanent ever ban. I used to be on Facebook, but I like this format. All right, here we go. This is kind of something I had said earlier. If silver sales pass $40, and I believe this, and I wrote this morning, if silver sales pass $40, which we haven't seen this morning, and I don't think we're going to see, but we are in a full-blown bull on the tear. I mean, that's pretty obvious, especially when you see these $1 and $2 moves. If she heads up into the mid, and that's not $335, $35 to $40 range. If it goes into 36, 37.50, it stalls out, then we back off to 35. And then we start seeing it, maybe get hit to 33 or 32 again. I still think that we've tested the $35 level pretty handily here, and that the next trading range, and remember, I believe these things go in $5 trading ranges. The next trading range is the $35 to $40 range. And will we be out of the $40 range this year? I feel like we will, but again, never underestimate these, these big crooked banksters and the CME, the Crimex crooks, in my opinion. Ted Butler talked a lot about that, and I still believe that. Jan Reimers told me, he said, if silver gets out of control, the CME LBMA will simply halt trading or remove to buy buttons, raise margins, and kind of what I responded here is what I'm told by people smarter than me is the CME LBM is losing control of these markets. And that's something we probably haven't talked about in a little while. Is I'd like to, a couple guys out there, Vince Lancy, Arcadia Economics, Chris Marcus, and Eric Jung. And again, these are people out here I've kind of made friends with on the X platform, and they're very intelligent. They know their stuff. They're smarter than me, and in their own areas, in their own fields. I mean, remember, I'm really good at what I do, but. They've been talking about that the power of controlling the gold and silver markets has always pretty much been the LBMA market and the COMEX market, COMEX as I call it, market in Chicago. They've always controlled the price of gold and silver pretty much. However, if I'm correct, Chinese markets and Eastern markets now are starting to direct the physical flows, and they're also, they have been affecting physical flows. We've talked about how much gold and silver's been flowing to China. Now they are really effectively controlling the price. And I'm not sure if they have the same situation where their government or their banks can go in there and control things and move things. I'm sure they are. They're a very controlled society in that manner. I mean, rule-based and top-down kind of thing. However, the market that I'm seeing in the East seems to be pretty organic, and the beauty of it too is that the Chinese government has encouraged their people to buy gold. I think they've even given them credits to buy gold. So. That's encouraging. They're buying a hard asset that's doing very well, not a digital asset that could disappear anytime if the electricity goes out, the internet goes out, or you get hacked, but a physical asset that's been around for 5,000 years and it's been made by imploding neutron stars, not by some unknown guy named Satoshi. So China's really putting their people into a good, solid asset that's been around for 5,000 years, and look, it's performing really, really well. And before And silver's doing very well too. And there's going to be some people say, oh, silver hasn't done real well. Well, bullshit. You know what? If you got into buying gold and silver to get rich quick, then you're just like all the other get rich quick people. You're going to lose money because that's what you're looking. You're chasing getting rich quick. If you got into gold and silver and platinum for a long-term, very safe bet with little to no downside. I won't say no downside, just depends on when you're selling, but for the most part, little downside with great potential upside. That's why you get into gold and silver and platinum. But most people you hear bitch about silver and gold are again, the get rich people, and they're moving from one thing to another. 40 years ago, they were doing MLM marketing and Tupperware probably, and now they're, all right, anyways, I made my point. And here's what I had mentioned too down below. You can see I like the little memes I can put there. I mentioned if $40 fails to materialize, and there's a lot of people that are thinking that, now we've broken this $35 level, it's going to sail. It's going to sail to 40, 50. I mean, it's not the get rich crowd that really, they do too. They're out there pumping it, and when it doesn't, they get disappointed and they move into something else. But, the hardcore gold and silver fans, you can't help but, hey, is this it? When it's just going to sail, you know what I mean? But if it doesn't sail and that's not materializing, I wrote here, and I am skeptical. And at worst, I think we're starting a new trading level at $35 to $40 per ounce. And I can make a really good case for that. Happy to debate anybody on that as well. It's been my observation for 40 plus years that the silver market particularly moves in this $5 range period. And it's done, and it was done by the LBMA and it was done by the CME, basically the banks. People say, well, how can they manipulate gold and silver? If they were manipulating, it would be right through the roof. All right? No, folks. They make their money by flushing out long trades, and they make their money by shorting, and they make their money by spoofing. And if you don't believe that, and anybody that doesn't believe that there's been major manipulation in these markets, and LBMA and the Crimex markets, just look at J.P. Morgan, who was fined $920 million for spoofing the markets. J.P. Morgan. And primarily, and that whole little group of crooks, in my opinion, are the reason that we saw silver in 2012 go from $50 back down to 15 or 12. And they got fined for it, and they admitted to it. But it's funny that in the industry, and for the most part in the media, that story doesn't get told. Oh, 2012, the market crashed. No, it didn't crash. It got spoofed and it got killed by one particular entity. And you know what the strange thing is too? J.P. Morgan owns tons of gold, physical gold and silver now. They are set up for this long market. I don't think they were in there doing that stuff that the other commercial banks probably are doing. But again, you want to know more about that, read the late Ted Butler stuff. He explains it very well. Okay, so anyways, where am I going with this? I think we're in that $5 trading level, and once I believe the LBMA and the CME loses control entirely, and these markets are kind of dictated by physical flows to industrial people and investors, physical flows, not paper flows, and the Chinese and the Asian markets start to wake up and buy more. I mean, it could sail past $40 as well. We're in that unknown level, but as I say here, at worst, we're starting a new trading level of $35 to $40 an ounce. All is good, peeps. Buy the effing dips if you have an opportunity. Again, that's just my opinion. What else have I been talking about here? Let me hit my profile again. And kind of cool stuff here. Where else? Goodbye to $30 silver forever. Well, you know what? I've said this plenty of time. If you look back on my 800 plus videos on YouTube, you'll see when I say $25 or $20 silver gone forever. I've done a couple of videos like that. $25 silver gone forever. I pretty much know when we're gone forever on certain levels. You're never going to see 5 silver. You're never going to see 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30. We may still see 30 yet, okay? But we're never going to see $25 silver. And the only way you'll ever see $25 silver is we have, let me say never. The caveat here is if we had a financial collapse in such a degree that we had in 2008, which I witnessed, and silver and gold, despite what I thought in a bad time, just tanked. And that's because people sold huge positions of paper to cover their other losses. and actually, who was it? Lehman Brothers or Bear Stearns held that super large short position at J.P. Morgan. Now we're getting convoluted, jumping down rabbit holes, but that had to be transferred off. That was a huge losing short position that J.P. inherited, or the government gave to him. And that's probably why J.P. Morgan's still in the precious metals business, because they were given the business by the Treasury Department and by the U.S. government. Probably a lot of dirt there as well, but we won't go into that. But no less, folks, we're in a different trading level here, and I don't want to meander on. Did I talk about this? A pre-congratulations to David Bateman. David Bateman is a gentleman that took delivery of a huge amount of silver. When I say huge, he took a delivery of a huge amount of silver, stored it himself at much lower than these sub $35 levels. I just kind of did a pre-congratulation out there, and my gift disappeared. Where's my gift? There we go. Winner chicken dinner. Chris Marcus, Arcadia Economics. I've done some videos with him, I think. I've done a video with him in the past, as well as Rafi Farber and a few other guys out there. Chris is another good guy to follow, as is Vince Lancy. Silver Babe, let me see, where else? I got some other questions and things I've talked about here. We're going to avoid politics today. There's still people out there, by the way, folks, and you've watched my videos, and you know how this pisses me off. There's still people out there pushing certified U.S. $20 gold pieces, all right? And here's the funny thing, too, is if you were ever going to buy $20 U.S. gold pieces, for years and years I've talked about these companies that push these graded certified coins, because you're going to get confiscated if you don't buy numismatics. And let me tell you, a lot of the folks out there, some of you know who they are, a lot of the folks out there were buying these $20 gold pieces $200, $300, $400, $500 over the price of gold, which means that the people that were selling them these things under the false bullshit of confiscation, oh, you can't confiscate your coins, all they were doing is filling their pockets, pretty much, and they're lying. They were lying to people. They're discussing confiscation. There we go. Another load of shit article discussing confiscation, gold, and taxes. I've talked about IRAs. IRAs are bullshit, because IRAs force you into many times buying way overpriced gold coins and things like that, just for a tiny bit of a tax, ability to avoid paying taxes. Most people don't pay taxes on their gold and silver. They lose it in a boating accident, damn it, or give it to the kids, or bury it in the backyard. So IRAs, my opinion on them, they suck. All right, that's my opinion. If you're the whole purpose of owning gold and silver is not to say pay somebody else to store it for you in a stupid IRA that it's not worth getting, and you're going to buy overpriced shit. The best, the whole reason behind owning gold and silver is that you have it yourself. There's a safety involved there, unless you're guys like David up here, and David certainly couldn't hold his own silver, so he paid a legitimate vaulting service to hold his large quantities of silver. But again, I'm talking about huge quantities, not thousands of ounces, but much more than that, folks. All right, where else are we going for? And again, this is cool about X. You make kind of cool friends out here, and you meet all kinds of cool people. For example, J-Wise Geology. This is a geologist. He's an exploration geologist. Really cool dude. Talks about all different types of things he explores for. I'd like to do a video with him sometime as well. No comedy there too as well. And I've talked about, all right, I said I wasn't going to get into it, but you can read this. This is what I believe that bill is right there. But that might be driving gold and silver prices too. Them trying to pass through this bloated another $2.53 trillion plus budget. But again, let's kind of avoid the politics a little bit here. And basically what I wanted to really talk about today, guys, is just the what's going on out there right now with your $35 plus silver. Should I get excited and think we're going 40 plus? Don't get too excited yet. Should I get disappointed that we're not going $40 plus? Absolutely not. The fundamentals are still there. We're just in these ranges, 30 to 35, 30 to 35, 35 to 40. And again, for the get rich quick folks out there, go try something different. I'm tired of hearing you complain about it. And for the guys out there that want to secure wealth, this is how I've secured most of my wealth, folks. And listen, I've lost some opportunities. I could have bought Bitcoin for $2 a Bitcoin, and I almost did. $2 or $3 at one time when I read it in Wired magazine. I have no regrets. I have no regrets at all about buying silver at all. None. You can always look back and say, well, I should have bought this stock or that stock, or I should have done a triple leverage on it. Come on, give me a break. if you want to secure good wealth long term that you have in your hands, that no one else is holding for you, that has a $5,000 track record, you can't beat gold and silver. And listen, this is my opinion, but I also walk the walk too. And I talk the talk, I walk the walk. I own a lot of gold and silver myself. All right. So there you go. And yeah, no, I don't keep it at home. So, for any of you seedy bastards listening, no. And we vault it as well, because we're a business. All right. So. And that's a whole different thing about security. You can guys talk about that some other time. Last video I did was about 2 weeks ago, 16K reviews. Again, I'd go over the comment section, but it's just huge, folks. The comment sections were much easier when I get like 825 views. And that's the thing I miss the most, is like answering in the comment section. But again, when they get huge, I just can't do it. And that's what I love about X, is any of you on the X platform, which I really, really like, any of you at any given time can ask me a question. It'll show up in notifications, and I will likely answer until this channel gets just so blown out that it's the same thing. But I'll still do my very best. Again, the video from a couple weeks ago was Silver Refiner Slam, No Room for More Silver. If someone had only read the title on this, they would say, well, that means silver's not rare. No, they're way behind. The reason the silver refiners are slammed because somebody needs that silver really badly and really quickly. And I think a lot of people didn't watch the whole video or didn't get that point. Is not that there's so much silver coming on the market, but there's so much silver needed right now before there does become delays. That's why the stuff is just like pouring through. All right, that's why silver refiners slam. But anyways, here's my video channel, by the way, too. If you've not seen it before, please hit that like and subscribe button. And again, please catch me on X as well. All right, folks, I'm going to let you go. I'm going on a little vacation this week. I don't know if I told you, but I turned 60 plus. I don't want to give I tell you what, I'm like 62 or 63 or something, I forgot. But I just turned 60 something, and I bought the dirt bike I always wanted. As you guys know, I ride a motorcycle, but now I bought a dirt bike that I always wanted when I was a teenager. And I'm learning to ride, and I'm actually having a really good time, single trail riding. I'll tell you more about it, but I'm going away this week to do that, and I'm going to have some fun. My staff will be here. Hired a new guy too, Greg, who knows as much about coins as I do, and my staff is really good with gold and silver. And of course, if you're looking to buy, before I go, certainly the game is rigged, folks. Don't let that stop you. If you don't bet, you can't win. And this is what I've been talking about, rigged markets with the Primex markets and all this stuff. But you are not going to lose ever owning gold and silver and platinum if you hold it for a certain amount of time. The market just continually goes up as the value of a dollar goes down and down. And again, certainly the game is rigged. We can all say that, but everything around us is rigged. From day one, you're told about Santa Claus. That was kind of a rigged deal, wasn't it? But don't let that stop you. You got to bet. You got to bet. And if you're betting on gold and silver, in my opinion, you're going to do very well, and platinum too. Okay, that's it. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, platinum coins, anything like that, even looking to sell rare coins and stuff, I'm your man. All right, I've been here since 1995 in this building. I've been doing this since 1977 when I started working for my father in Boca Raton. We'll beat all the locals down here. If you're looking to buy gold and silver, we are a brick and mortar. We don't really have an online sales store, but we do sales over the phone on larger quantities with safe, secure payments. And by the way, I got a story about getting ripped off by some scumbag out there on something we screwed up on, but that's going to make for a fun video in the future, show you how to avoid stuff like that as well. So if you're looking to buy and sell gold, silver, and platinum, give us a call. We'll beat most all the online guys. We'll beat SD, we'll beat APMEX, we'll beat JM Bullion on their prices on the reasonably priced bullion items. We'll beat the big boys out there. So pretty easy. Give us a call. But we don't do any shipping unless it's over 500 ounces of silver or it's over like $50,000 in gold. We only do in-store sales for under like 50 grand or so. But anyways, hope all is well. Nice to talk to you folks again, and please see if you can catch me on X. I'd love to see some of you folks that comment out there get an account, and I can chat with you more. Hey, thanks. Have a great day, and I'll let you know how well, you'll find out when I come back. If you don't hear from me, you know what happened. I'm lost down a hillside somewhere in the mountains somewhere. All right, folks, have a great day. Talk to you soon, and keep the chin up. Bye.